Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Ramon's Chef Ramon. I'm gonna today show you how to make croquetas de jamon, so ham croquettes. I'm gonna show you the ingredients. It's very easy. So first of all, you need half a liter of milk, preferably full fat milk, but if not, then just use the normal one. And then I have 70 grams of butter, unsalted butter. I have 70 grams of flour. You have to use quite a hard flour for this. I've got 100 grams of cut ham, jamon serrano. So here they sell it like that, but if you don't get it, you can just cut it yourself. Then I've got half an onion, a pinch of salt, some pepper, and a teaspoon of muscat, which gives it that lovely taste. Right, so my pan is hot. I've got a non-stick pan, which is quite important because you don't want the bechamel sauce that you're making stick to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my butter in and let it melt. So I've melted my butter now. Now I'm going to go ahead with my onion. And basically what you want to do with the onion is just to cook it a little bit, maybe a couple of minutes. You don't want it to be browned, you just want it to be loosened a bit before you put your jamon in. You can see now my onion is sizzling nicely, so I'm going to go ahead and put the jamon in. And what you want to do with the jamon is cook it just for a minute, and then we will go ahead with the flour afterwards. Right, my jamon is done, so now I'm going to go ahead and add my flour in. So here is where we're going to make the roux. Right, you want to at this point bring the temperature a little bit down so you don't burn it. And basically you want it nice and floury and kind of this color is coming too. Now that's taken all the flour in. I'm going to go ahead and slowly add my milk and keep stirring so that you can get that consistency of a beautiful bechamel. So now you can see it's thickening already. What I'm going to go ahead and put my salt, a bit of pepper, and my muscat, and continue stirring it until it basically lifts off the pan. About 10 minutes, I guess, and you can see it's kind of lifting off the bottom. So that's what you want to have, that kind of lift from the bottom, so it's moving around. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a bit more of this, and then I'll show you how to cool it off, and then we get prepared to making the croquetas. Okay, so now our you can see now it almost comes out like a beautiful dough. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in here, cool it down. Normally I would put some olive oil, but because this is inside, if you have a non-stick one, then it's fine. Then what you want to do is just evenly stretch it out. Then you need to cool it to room temperature and then store it in the fridge for about 2 or 3 hours. So I cover this with a bit of cellophane on top, directly on top, leaving the edges out a bit to let the air out. This way it continues actually becoming very doughy, and it makes a really nice paste for the croqueta. Okay, so I leave this out until it's room temperature, then I store it basically in the fridge for 2 or 3 hours. Right, so we've taken our beautiful paste bechamel out of the fridge, and now I'm just going to cut it into portions, right, for us to form it. You can do it the sizes you want, because you're going to be forming that with your hand. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it like that so that I can then form them. I'm going to got some breadcrumbs here. I've got 3 eggs here. I will add a bit of water for consistency so that it doesn't become too sticky. A bit of salt and pepper. And I will just stir that. The idea is to then do the process of making the croquette, which I'm going to show you how. So the first thing you do is you have to get your hands a little bit of olive oil on it so that the paste doesn't stick to it, and then you take one by one the paste that you have made into the sizes that you like to make. So I'm going to make them about that big. Okay, nice and beautiful. Then the process basically is to put it in the bread, make sure all of it is covered, shape it to the way you like it. Then you put it into the egg, cover it, take it out, put it back into the breadcrumbs, and voila, you've got a beautiful croqueta. Right, so what I have here, I normally use for my pan to heat the croquetas, half of, I think 50-50 basically, half of sunflower oil and half of olive oil. Why do I do that? Because olive oil burns really quickly, so I don't want to burn my croquetas. And normally I put it on a heat sort of just below high heat, so around 90 degrees if you like, the oil. And basically a few at a time you put them in. So I'm going to just show you. Put your croquetas in and they start sizzling. And you don't want to put them all at once because the oil cools down and then the cooking time, it doesn't cook properly basically. So I put about 4 or 5 at a time and let that basically fry for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And when it's basically golden brown, then you want to take them out. This is exactly the color I like, so I'm going to take them out now. You can see, so what I do basically, I take them out one by one, put them on a beautiful plate with napkins so that all the oil is absorbed. Okay, and that's how your gorgeous croqueta is supposed to look like.